Hey, I'm Al McGee with WhyAintTicket.com. I'm here with MovieNight.net. That's my buddy Steven Leibowitz. But we're going to talk about this action-filled movie called The Fall Guy. Now, The Fall Guy, this is where it has its roots in the TV show starring Lee Majors at the time. It was in the 1980s, and I saw some of those television episodes, but I don't remember following it, anything like that. But here, with this Fall Guy, it was directed by David Leitch, and he was a stunt double, and he worked with actors like Brad Pitt, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Matt Damon, and others. And also his directorial debut was a film called John Wick. And, you know, he also worked with other actors also. So, Steve, MovieNight.net, what do you think of The Fall Guy?
I think The Fall Guy is a perfect start to the summer movie season. It's hard to believe it's May, Al. It's May. I felt like yesterday I was complaining about the January junk movies, but here we are, May, which is the first Friday in May. It used to be Memorial Day, but now the first Friday in May is usually the kickoff of the summer movie season. Now, usually for the past like 18 years in May, the first summer movie would be a Marvel movie. But because of the strikes last year, they had to push back their calendar. So instead of getting a Marvel movie for this first Friday, we get The Fall Guy. And you know what? I think The Fall Guy is probably better than whatever Marvel movie we normally would have gotten this Friday. So I'm actually glad that they things changed it up. And obviously, as you can tell how I'm starting, I really enjoyed The Fall Guy, Al.
Yeah, and also I enjoyed it too. And also, I just want to make one comment about the current level of Marvel. It hasn't been that good, but they're coming out with some other films now. Hopefully, they will bring the same standard or more of Marvel movies. But the other things they had last 2 years have not been that great for me. Yes, this Fall Guy is very good. A lot of action in it, but I like the actors in this film. I really do. I enjoyed Ryan Gosling as the Fall Guy. Also, his love interest was played by Emily Blunt. And also the story, is funny. And also had this romantic type of issue in the background. But when you see the movie, you understand why they did that. Because this is what really made that movie, was a romantic background in it. And also the humor, but the action is what really drove me to really enjoy this film. And you're absolutely right. This is a good film to bring out right now at the start of, I guess, the summertime. And I really enjoy the one-liners. And also, I like the quips in this film. And I love Colt and Jody. Those are the characters played by the main actors in this film. And I like their relationship. And I like what they did with this story, too, in this movie, The Fall Guy. And matter of fact, this movie was written by screenwriter Drew Pearce. And I've heard of him, too. And I think Universal Pictures are doing a good job with this film, The Fall Guy.
They really are, Al. And you hit all the good bullet points. It had good acting. It had good characters that you cared about, and they made a good. There was good acting in it too. You think sometimes action movie, it's all action and no characters, and which can be okay. But you know what? Like putting everything more rounded. I thought it did stumble a bit to get going, but once it got its footing, it really got going. And they have, of course, being the Fall Guy, being about a stuntman, they had all kinds of stunts. They did car roll, fire stunt, fight scenes, and the comedy there too. I mean, there's one huge, large action piece that goes on, and it's all done to Phil Collins' song "Against All Odds." Not the kind of song you think accompanies an action scene, but they made it work. It had great action in that sequence, and it was funny to watch because of the song you hear in the background. So yeah.
I'm laughing right now, just thinking
it, right?
Just remember it. Yeah, I'm really. But there was a question during the film. And one young lady asked the Fall Guy, "Do you have an Academy Award?" And he said they don't give out Academy Awards for stunt people. And I thought about that. I said, well, they should have another category then for stunt people. And in fact, categories for a whole lot of different people, which they do have, as far as Academy Awards and things like that. But I feel a stunt person is very important in a film. What do you think about that?
They are, and there is talk among the Academy about that. Now, I once interviewed Kane Hodder. He's a stunt coordinator, although he's most well known for playing Jason in the Friday the 13th movie. But I interviewed him once years ago because he is primarily a stunt coordinator and a stunt man. And I asked him about what do you think about this is a long time ago, like over 10 years ago. I asked him about getting an Oscar for stunts. He goes, well, he'd be good for recognition, but he had a fear because the first thing stunt coordinators are top concern is safety. He's afraid if he was had a concern that if you're giving an Oscar out, maybe people might try to go a little too far just to get the Oscar, maybe trying to earn an Oscar for their stunts, and maybe safety might take a bit of a back seat. So it was interesting getting that perspective from an actual stuntman. So while you and I can think, oh yeah, they should do Oscars for them, I figured a stunt person's opinion saying it'd be nice, but he has concerns about it because he thinks about safety is a good perspective to have too on it.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. And also, he did a nice quote about why it shouldn't be that, but you never know until they start doing it. And it might make it much, much better,
And
But also,
this movie had every stunt. You had car rolls, fire stunts, like I said, and
underwater.
Yeah, so I don't think there's any kind of stunt out there that wasn't done in this movie.
Yeah, I totally agree with you about that. But not only that, man, I want to get back to many of the actors in this film. For example, like Winston Duke and Stephanie Sho and Teresa Palmer. And, also, guess who showed up in the film too? Lee Majors. He showed up in this movie.
So, man, that's a spoiler alert, man. That's a bit of a surprise. I don't know if you want to put that one out there. But
well, yeah, I did it already. I don't care.
Okay,
I did it already.
It'll
give people something to look forward to. But
yeah.
I will admit, stay for the credits. You see a lot of the off takes, but also near the end of the film, you're gonna have one of the biggest surprises because I was totally surprised when they brought something together to end this movie. It was fucking hilarious. It was the best.
It was, as I said, it was a great movie. I had a really great time. I didn't know how I like it. I was hoping it looked good. Look good doesn't always mean it will be good. There's plenty of movies we walk out where there's a movie just last week to come out, Boy Kills World, where I thought the trailer was better than the movie. How many movies have we seen that with? Trailers are always better than movies. So I'm happy that wasn't the case here. It looked good. It is good. This is a great popcorn flick. I said it's gonna be, it's always gonna be hard to maintain this kind of pace, but like I said, some movie season is off to an excellent start. I think next week we got Kingdom of Planet of the Apes. Hopefully that will be good too, and they can just keep on rolling.
Well, I'm going to give this 3 palm trees out of 4 because the romantic part for me drug on a little bit. And then when he was in a situation, the romantic part came in. He was in a dangerous situation, but all he can do is talk about romance. So that's why I'm giving it 3 stars out of 4. But otherwise, everything else in this film was very, very good. How many swords you going to get this?
We're close, man. I'm a little bit. I did a little bit better. I didn't get 3.5 swords, and you know how stingy I am. My sword giving out, so that's hard to do. I thought the romance, it was just enough romance in there, so it didn't bog down the picture. And they, Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt obviously had great chemistry for those scenes. Sexy sometimes. So like I said, I just thought it all came together great. So a big one for me, 3.5 swords.
Great. And also, men and women, wait till you see the body of Ryan Gosling. He really got in shape for this role. Boy, he has a 7-pack, not a 6-pack.
I think he took a little off from being Ken. I think he was a little more beefed up for Ken. I think he just took a little bit off, but they had the right trainers for these kind of things. I think Ken had to be a little more too perfect because he was kind of a doll from last year. But Ryan Gosling's Ryan Gosling himself. His star is. I mean, he's always been a big star, but now it's really rising now, Al. His star is really going up big.
Really, well, in my opinion, his stars always rose, and he always did great roles. He always chose the right vehicle for him to be in the movie with, and I just felt I feel he is one of the best actors right now in the movies.
Great. He's a great draw. Between is last year was Barbie. This year, even earlier this year when he just performed "I Am Ken" at the Oscars, that song, that was a great little piece for him. Like I said, he is absolutely A-list. He's I'm sure he gets a great salary that he deserves. Been in the game a long time, so good for him. It's like I said, this is one of the kind of movie no matter who you are, it's a great film. It's PG-13, so you can almost take the whole family. Nothing really too inappropriate for children. It's a great time at the movies.
It sure is. Well, thank you very much, Stephen. Thank you for coming. And again, people will see you on, what's your site again?
TheMovieNight.net.
And that's movie night with a K.
Yes.
.net. That's right. Thank you. And thank you for your review of The Fall Guy. I really appreciate it.
Great time.
Thank you.
This is your entertainment ticket. Latest and greatest.